There exists a secret, a truth so profound, so transformative, that it has eluded the grasp of many who seek success, happiness, and fulfillment. This truth is not found in the distant dreams of tomorrow, nor buried in the regrets of yesterday. It is here,
Now.
in this very moment. And within it lies the power to reshape your destiny, to awaken a force within you more powerful than any external circumstance, more enduring than any material wealth. For centuries, men and women have sought the keys to enlightenment, to mastery over life, to the realization of peace and purpose. They have searched in temples and texts, in mountains and monasteries, in gold and glory, only to find that the treasure they seek is not out there, but within them. And yet, in the endless race of ambition and worry, most fail to grasp the most fundamental principle of all. Life is not lived in the past or the future, but in the eternal now. Yes, my friend, this very moment is the doorway to all that you have ever desired. The past is but a memory, a story written in the pages of time, unchangeable and fading. The future is nothing more than a whisper, a promise unfulfilled, a vision yet to be shaped. But the present, the present is alive. It is breathing, it is real, and it is the only thing you truly possess. Eckhart Tolle, a master of the mind and spirit, has not come to offer you empty words or fleeting inspiration. He brings you a revelation that will strip away the chains of anxiety, silence the doubts that whisper in your ear, and free you from the illusions that have held you captive. This is not just another book, it is a call to awakening. So I ask you, as Napoleon Hill once asked those in search of riches beyond gold, are you ready to receive? Are you prepared to embrace the power that is already within you? Will you dare to let go of the burdens of time and step boldly into the infinite potential of the now? If your answer is yes, then prepare yourself. What you are about to hear will not merely inform you, it will transform you. For once you understand the power of now, you will never again be a prisoner of the past, nor a slave to the future. You will be free. And freedom, my friend, is the greatest wealth of all. The Power of Now, a Guide to Spiritual Enlightenment. Part 1. The Awakening to the Present Moment. Chapter 1. The Madness of the Mind. Why you must escape it. Pause for a moment. Close your eyes. Ask yourself, who am I? If your mind immediately begins listing your name, your job, your past, your achievements, your failures, stop. These are not you. These are stories your mind tells. And your mind, my friend, is a relentless storyteller, always crafting narratives, always whispering fears, always keeping you trapped in time. It drags you backward, drowning you in regret, shame, and guilt, a past that no longer exists. And if it is not lamenting the past, it is pushing you forward, throwing you into fear, worry, and stress, a future that has not yet come. And so you are never truly alive. Your life is happening now, and yet you are lost in a world of mental illusions. Tolle calls this psychological time, a mind-made prison where past and future dominate, and the present is ignored. But here is the truth. Reality exists only in the now. You cannot live in yesterday. You cannot touch tomorrow. But you can choose right now to awaken from this madness. The first step? Realize that you are not your mind. For when you step beyond it, you will find a silence, a stillness, a power unlike anything you have ever known. The Power of Now. Chapter 2. The Ego, the Enemy Within. You have met the enemy, and the enemy is your ego. Yes, that voice in your head that tells you are not enough. That whispers, if only you had more money, more success, more validation, then you would be happy. It is a liar. The ego thrives on lack. It feeds on dissatisfaction, on comparison, on the illusion that you must become something before you can find peace. But tell me, how can you find peace someday if you cannot find it now? The ego will never let you rest. It will always want more. And so you must silence it.
How?
By becoming fully present. The moment you stop seeking outside yourself, The moment you realize that you are already whole, the ego begins to lose its grip. And in that space, free from past, free from future, you will feel something extraordinary, a stillness, a power, a presence. This, my friend, is the truest wealth a man can possess. Chapter 3. The Pain Body. How to Stop Suffering. There is a force inside you, one that clings to your old wounds, your old anger, your old pain. Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body. It feeds on your suffering. It keeps you replaying old memories, reliving old hurts, nursing old resentments. It whispers, "They wronged you. You are a victim. You must hold on to this pain." And so, without realizing it, you carry a weight that is not yours to bear. But listen carefully. You are not your pain. Yes, you have been hurt. Yes, the past has left scars. But you must ask yourself, are you willing to let yesterday's suffering steal today's joy? Because that is what happens when you refuse to release the pain body. Tolle teaches us this. The moment you step into the now, pain begins to dissolve. Not by fighting it, not by resisting it, but by observing it, witnessing it, allowing it to pass through you like a storm that has come and gone. And in its place, a freedom so deep, a peace so unshakable, that nothing in the world can touch you. This is the path to true power. Chapter 4. The Gateway to Freedom, Living in the Now. Now, my friend, you stand at the threshold. The past no longer has chains on you. The future no longer controls you. The ego no longer deceives you. And so, you are left with only this moment. And let me tell you something, this moment is all you need. When you are fully present, life opens in a way you never imagined. You see the world with fresh eyes. You hear the laughter of a child as if for the first time. You taste food, feel the sun on your skin, experience the richness of existence in a way no amount of money or success could ever buy. And in this presence, you will know something incredible. You were never lost. You were never broken. You were never lacking. You were simply asleep. But now you are awake. And this is true success. Part 2. Mastering Presence and Transcending the Illusion of Time. Chapter 5. The Great Secret. You are not your thoughts. I ask you now, have you ever observed your own mind? Have you ever stood at a distance and watched as thoughts rise and fall, as worries come and go, as doubts whisper and fade? If you have not, then I tell you, you are asleep. For most people live their entire lives trapped within their own thinking. They believe their thoughts are them, that every passing fear, every anxious prediction, every regretful memory is their reality. But here is the truth, the greatest secret of all. You are not your mind. Your thoughts are merely clouds in the sky. They drift in, they drift out. Some are dark with storms, others light and fleeting, but the sky itself? The sky remains untouched. And that sky, my friends, is you. The moment you awaken to this truth, a great power is unlocked. No longer will your mind control you. No longer will its endless chatter pull you into suffering. Instead, you will become the watcher, the silent observer, the master of your own consciousness. And this, my friends, is freedom. Chapter 6. The Death of Psychological Time. Why now is the only reality. Let us return to one of the greatest illusions of all, time. For ages, man has been enslaved by the past and shackled by the future, never realizing that neither exists in the way he imagines. Think of it. When have you ever lived in the past? When have you ever stepped into the future? The answer is clear, never. All things happen now. The past is but a memory, a thought arising in the present. The future is but a projection, another thought arising now. And yet, we suffer because we live in these illusions. We replay old wounds, relive old mistakes, dwell in regrets. Or we chase the future, believing happiness lies somewhere ahead, never realizing it is already here. But once you see through this lie, once you grasp that life happens only in the present, a door opens, a door into a world untouched by suffering. For in the now, there is no fear, no anxiety, no regret. There is only peace. There is only clarity. There is only power. Chapter 7. Silence the mind. Enter the state of presence. Now, my friends, we come to the great challenge, the mastery of presence. For though we understand its power, we are still creatures of habit. Our minds, like wild horses, run in every direction, resisting the stillness of now. So how, then, do we break free? The answer is simple, yet profound. Stop.
Breathe.
Observe. At any moment, in any place, you can enter presence. You need no temple, no mountaintop, no retreat from the world. All you need is awareness. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath. Feel the air entering your lungs, the weight of your body, the sounds around you. And then watch. Watch your mind as a spectator watches a stage. Thoughts will rise, but do not chase them. Fears will whisper, but do not follow them. Instead, remain still. Remain here. For in this moment, my friends, you will feel something extraordinary, a peace so profound, a presence so powerful that all worries fade like mist in the morning sun. And in that stillness, you will know, this is what you have been searching for. Chapter 8. Surrender and Flow, the End of Resistance. At last, we arrive at the final key to living in the now. And that key, my friends, is surrender. But do not mistake me. I do not speak of weakness, nor of resignation, nor of passivity.
No.
I speak of something far greater, the release of resistance. For look upon your own life and tell me, how much of your suffering comes from fighting what is? How often do you resist reality, saying, this should not be happening. This is not fair. This is not how things should be. And so you war against life itself, never realizing that life always wins. But when you surrender, when you cease fighting, something miraculous occurs. You enter flow. You stop resisting the river and allow it to carry you effortlessly. You embrace the now, trusting that whatever arises is meant to be. And in that surrender, you find the greatest strength of all, the power to live fully, without fear, without doubt, without suffering. For nothing can disturb a man who embraces each moment as it comes. Nothing can shake the one who has surrendered to the now. Part 3. The Liberation of the Self, Transcending Ego and Finding True Freedom. Chapter 9. The Ego's Deception. Why it fears the now. First, we must understand why the ego resists presence. For the ego is nothing more than a construct, a false identity built from thoughts, memories, labels. It says, I am my past. It declares, I am my story. But when you enter the now, when you exist fully in presence, something terrible happens to the ego. It dissolves. For how can a past-based identity exist in a moment that has no past? How can an entity that thrives on separation and struggle survive in a state of peace? It cannot. And so, the ego fights. It whispers to you, you must plan. You must worry. You must dwell in the past. You must control the future. But now, my friends, you know the truth. These voices are not you. They are the desperate cries of a dying illusion. And when you stand firm in presence, they lose their power over you. Chapter 10. The Disease of More. Why the Ego is Never Satisfied. But the ego is a master of trickery. It does not only feed on time, it feeds on desire. For have you not noticed? The moment you achieve what you want, the mind immediately seeks more. You get the job, but now you want a promotion. You make money, but now you want wealth. You find love, but now you want perfection. This is the disease of the ego, the eternal hunger, the never-ending chase. It tells you, happiness is just around the corner. If only you had more. If only you were better. If only the world gave you what you deserved, then you would be at peace. But I tell you the truth, peace will never come from the ego's chase. For even if you gathered all the riches of the world, even if you reached the highest mountain, the ego would still whisper, it is not enough.
So, what is the cure?
Stop chasing. Realize that peace is not found in more.
It is found in now.
For when you enter presence, you see clearly. You lack nothing. You are already whole. You are already complete. You are already free. Chapter 11. The End of Judgment. How to Silence the Inner Critic. But wait. Another enemy lurks, hiding behind the mask of self-improvement. It is the voice of judgment. It tells you, you are not enough. You should be better. You should be smarter, richer, stronger, more successful. And so, a man spends his life at war with himself, never realizing that the very war itself is the cause of his suffering. But let me ask you, who is this voice that condemns you? Who is this critic that whispers doubts, feeds insecurities, and sows the seeds of self-hatred? I tell you, it is the ego itself. For the ego feeds on comparison. It thrives on separation. It needs you to feel less than so it can chase more than. But once again, there is a way out. Observe the voice. Do not fight it. Do not engage it. Simply watch. For the moment you observe judgment without attaching to it, you rob it of its power. And in that moment, my friends, you are free. For a man who does not judge himself is a man at peace. And a man at peace needs nothing from the world. Chapter 12. Transcending Fear. Why the Ego Keeps You Small. And now we come to the final veil, the greatest deception of all, the illusion of fear. For why does man hesitate to step into the now? Why does he cling to his suffering, even when he sees it clearly? Because of one thing. The ego whispers that without it, you will not survive. It tells you, if you surrender control, you will be powerless. If you stop striving, you will fall behind. If you let go of your fears, the world will devour you. But, my friends, these are the cries of a frightened ghost. For in truth, what is there to fear? You fear loss, but life itself is impermanent. You fear failure, but failure is only a story the mind tells. You fear death, but death is merely the end of form, not the end of being. The ego has kept you small by convincing you that you are fragile, that you are weak, that you are at the mercy of life. But I tell you, this is the greatest lie of all. For when you stand in the now, when you embrace presence fully, you see the truth. You are life itself. You are not the fleeting thoughts of the mind. You are not the fragile form of the body. You are the consciousness, the stillness, the awareness that has been here all along. And that, my friends, is fearless. A new life begins, the death of the ego, the birth of freedom. And so now, my friends, the question is before you. Will you continue to be a prisoner of ego? Will you chase the mirages of time, of desire, of judgment and fear? Or will you awaken? Will you step boldly into presence? Will you claim the power that has always been yours? The choice is yours. But know this, if you choose presence, if you choose now, you will never be the same. For once you see the illusion, you can never be deceived again. Once you taste the freedom of now, the chains of the past and future will crumble. And once you awaken to who you truly are, no force on earth will ever make you small again. Go forth, my friends, live in presence, live in truth, live in power, for you are already free. The time is now, and now is all there is. The stirring conclusion, the final awakening, the death of seeking, the birth of being. Consider the river, flowing effortlessly to the ocean. It does not ask, when will I arrive? It does not say, I must move faster.
No.
It simply flows. And in that flowing, it fulfills its purpose.
So too must we.
For have you not seen? The mind is always searching, always striving, always demanding more. It says, one day, I will be enough. But the truth is clear.
You are enough now.
The man who understands this stops chasing and starts living. He does not say, I will be at peace when I have more money. He does not say, I will be happy when I find love. He does not say, I will be fulfilled when the world changes.
No.
He stands in the now. And in that moment, he realizes there is nothing to chase, nothing to fix, nothing to change. All is well. All is as it should be. And that, my friends, is the true liberation. The fearless life, living without resistance. But some will say, if I surrender to now, will I not lose all ambition? To them, I say no. You will not lose ambition. You will lose anxiety. You will not stop acting. You will stop fearing. For the man who lives in the now still moves forward, still creates, still builds, but he does so without struggle. He does not chase success out of fear of failure. He does not seek love to fill a void within himself. He does not strive to prove his worth, for he knows his worth is beyond question. This is the fearless life. The life where action flows, where joy is present, where the burdens of regret and worry no longer exist. And my friends, this life is available to you right now. The Great Awakening, a new way to live.
So what now?
What shall you do with this knowledge? Shall you return to old habits? Shall you listen to the whispers of the ego, pulling you back into the storm of thought? Or shall you step into the now once and for all? For this is the moment. Not tomorrow. Not later.
Now.
If you seek peace, be peace. If you seek joy, be joy. If you seek freedom, be free, right here, right now. For my friends, the door to enlightenment is not in the future. It is open before you, in this very moment. Walk through it. Stand in presence. Stand in power.
Stand in the now.
And when you do, you will know, beyond all doubt, beyond all thought, you were never lost. You were never lacking. You were never separate from truth. You were here all along. For the now is all there ever was and all there ever will be. And so I leave you with this final command: live boldly, live presently, live fully. For the time is not tomorrow. The time is not someday. The time is now. Thanks for listening to Book Buzz reviews and summaries.